parents have struggled typically with bike riding for years. So the kids struggle as well, like they see their younger siblings riding and their peers riding a two-wheeler, and maybe they aren't ready to ride a two-wheeler, and so they feel bad about themselves. But the parents often, it just breaks their heart that their child can't do what other kids can do. So they come in here hopeful, maybe we'll try this.
Sage is 9 years old, and we started getting him on bikes with training wheels, bikes with handles, trying to get him to learn to ride a two-wheel bike probably close to 5 years ago. And we've tried just about everything that we can think of, and it just wasn't really happening. And told myself, if he's not riding independently by this weekend, by mid-January, we're going to sign up and do this clinic, and so that's why we're here.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, pedal!
So the sessions are about an hour and 15 minutes long, and the first day the kids come in and we fit them to the appropriate size bike, a trainer bike, and then they're assigned a volunteer or a teacher, and the teacher accompanies them around the gym, and they basically just ride for the entire hour and 15 minutes with very short breaks and everything.
So really cool, these adaptive bikes that they've developed for this program. At first glance they look like they're training wheels, but they're really much more.
Dennis Blong designed these trainer bikes, and he works for United Cerebral Palsy. They're similar to training wheels in the sense that they sit outside the back wheel, but they're different from training wheels in that they have air pressure that can be adjusted. So they can be stiff, or they can be a little bit, have some give. So some kids, when they ride training wheels, they will get on one wheel, and then when they go over to the other wheel, it's like clunk, and that like jars them, and they get super scared and they don't want to keep riding. So these has a much more gentle transition from side to side, and that's what makes them a lot better than training wheels.
They really seem like a fantastic tool. We could see as he made his laps the progression from that stiff, lean out in the turns problem to gradually learning to trust the equipment and lean in, which is of course where you have to go to be an independent rider. So very cool, yeah, very cool equipment, and we'd never seen anything like that before.
I have to hold back my tears because parents coming in thinking that my child will never ride a bike and be part of something that's so family-oriented, an activity that a lot of families like to do, to seeing their child learn how to ride a bike, hopefully independently, and by day 3 a lot of them are starting to. So parents are in tears, they're so appreciative, and they're so excited that they get to be a part of it.
And I have to say, one of the things we really appreciate about the camp is that Sage is so supported by the instructors, but at the same time they're really encouraging him to move out of his comfort zone in a way that it's hard for parents to do,
He's more responsive to the coaches and the staff here than he was to us. We would see things that we would be trying to get him to correct at home, and he would just go all stiff and then say, I quit, I'm done with it. But he's more responsive to the staff here, which is important. I also think that for him developmentally, where he is, being independent on a bike is what he needs right now. I mean, in his life in general, it's this dance between supporting him and propping him up and having him be independent, and he really needs that right now. I think not just with biking, but just with his life right now. Conquering being able to ride a two-wheeler independently is going to help him in other ways as well.
At each day, as they get a little more confident, a little more able to control the bike themselves, then we move them up to a two-wheel bike, and again the trainer is beside them or behind them and accompanying them and making sure that they don't fall in this learning stage. And eventually they learn how to keep the balance themselves by using the steering.
The reward I get from the transformation is probably just them coming in nervous about getting on two wheels, and then seeing them just lose balance, I guess you could say, on the training wheels, and then by the 4th day getting on two wheels and seeing them super excited about getting on two wheels from just 4 days ago. They're just on the bikes with the compressed air.
A lot of them come in with high anxiety. Never been on a bike, never even had a helmet on. So just going from the beginning steps of putting on that helmet to even looking at a bike to getting on a bike and then learning how to feel it and pedal, and then eventually they become so independent on it that, I mean, it's just, they feel so confident and their anxiety levels just kind of start to decrease, and it's a really cool process.
I'd say trust the process and give it a try. We've seen of the kids here, they're all challenged in different ways. And it's obvious that they're all working on different things, and yet all of them are making incredible progress. And by the third day today, you can see that every one of them is more confident and has made a lot of progress. So I would say trust it and give it a try.
Oftentimes the parents are cyclists themselves, and so it's really important to them that their children be able to enjoy this thing that is really important to them.
It's certainly something that I've been looking forward to, the time when he and I can be out riding together. We've actually done 5-6 mile rides with training wheels. We've got a tandem that he's ridden with us on, 10, 12 miles. But we're super excited for him to come into that independence, and for me personally as a parent, to be able to ride with my son, out on the creek path, it's going to be a lot of fun.
And as soon as we can get them on, even if they're terrified, and they see that the bike is not going to tip over and that somebody's right there beside them and they're going to be able to do it, then usually we start seeing the smile. And it's just, it's what floats our boat.
It's just great because they now are able to ride bike with their kids now. So it's great knowing that I was part of their kids' life, helping them achieve their goal of riding a bike.
Like kids with disabilities have to have modifications up the wazoo. The setting might be modified, the educational tools that they use, the way they learn. But bike riding is one thing where they can be absolutely equal and absolutely like everybody else. And that is what, keeps us going, because to feel like everybody else is what, we all would like to do, especially children.